you to the 2017 version of the Geico Bassmaster Classic, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And I am super happy that we are here in God's country, being from Texas myself. I knew it was going to be a really, really good tournament and exciting one, and these guys have proved that that was true. Standings officially are Brent Ayler in first place with 23-3, Bradley Roy in second place with 22-1, Cliff Crochet third place 21-8, Michael Iaconelli in fourth place with 21-2, Clifford Perch in fifth place with 20-11, and rounding out our top six is Dave Lefebvre in sixth place with 20 pounds and 6 ounces. So, with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get this press conference started. So I'll probably go ahead and repeat the question just so the people watching at home know what the question is before the anglers answer it. So if you have a question for the entire panel, you can ask it that way, or if you have a specific question for a specific angler, we can go that route too. So we'll go ahead and get, so yes sir.
Brent, you talked about being rattled. What does that mean exactly? And how is it different than the way you felt at Forcewood Cup when you won that?
You know, being rattled is just basically your nerves. You know, you see it regardless of the size of the tournament. You know, you see it in the Major League Fishing event. I mean, you see it fishing a little paper jar with your buddies too. You get rattled sometimes, and it's just your nerves getting the best of you, and you know, being able to contain it or control it and make the right decisions is you know, the key to doing well in the tournament.
Yes sir.
Mike, did you come here looking specifically for spinning rod stuff? That
I did not, no. I came here looking, the main thing I wanted to try to do was find fish that were up and out. And, you know, it wasn't relegated to just finesse fishing. But for some reason, it seems like on this lake in particular, it gets so much pressure, you know? How many damn 10-inch plum worms can the fish see? Carolina rigs can they see? 6XDs can they see? I think sometimes the finesse rod on this lake can really help, and it did play a part for me today.
Yes.
Cliff, you said it was break stuff rough out there. Did you, the rest of you guys, did you have trouble getting to some of the fish you may find in practice because the wind was blowing so hard?
It's really rough out there. I mean, it was Lake Erie rough. It seemed like it was pretty nasty.
No, it wasn't.
Next question. Yes sir.
Being on the stand the first day means that you're definitely in the hunt. I'd like to know how many of you feel good about what you're doing, that it's good enough to win.
All right, and this is a question for the whole panel. Let me start with Ike.
Yeah, it's great to be here, but it's the way that I fish today is what I call a dangerous way to fish, because I'm not getting a lot of bites. When I get a bite, it's generally a quality fish, but you know, if you're gonna fish that style, this is the place to do it. You know, it's the Bassmaster Classic, you know. So I mean, I'm not like on, you know, I'm not on a place where I'm like, I'm gonna win the Classic, but I feel like my mindset's right to win the Classic.
Cliff?
I feel good about what I'm doing. I just know, as always, there's a change coming. With the weather, or the sun, or the clouds, you have to make a change somewhere. And if I can pick up on that change, you know, it'll be a good weekend. If not, we'll just keep fighting.
All right, Bradley?
I feel good about what I'm doing. I made a game plan in practice to fish a little different probably than most guys, but you know, it's fishing. It could all diminish tomorrow. I may not catch one, but I certainly feel like, I mean, I'm not getting a lot of bites. I think I caught 8 or 9 keepers today, but I think that's pretty much the whole field's doing that. That's the way Conroe kind of fishes. I think you can get 5 or 6 bites in a day and still catch 23, 24 pounds. So if I can just do that for the next few days, I feel pretty good about it.
Brent?
I'm not sure what you said there.
You know, I think that Cliff said something that is really important in fishing and winning tournaments, is that the tournaments that I've won in the past have always been where you change up a little bit, you do something kind of on the fly. You know, if you try and base your whole tournament on something that you found a week ago, it's pretty tough to do. So the the guy that wins this is gonna be the person that kind of changes with the conditions, changes with the fish, and makes some of those key decisions. You know, you never know when you make the right decision until it happens, and so, you know, hopefully, all said and done at the end of this thing, that I'll be able to make them.
All right, Dave.
Yeah, he was wrong about Lake Erie, just so you guys, I'm gonna make that real clear. It was bumpy out there, but hopefully, you know, I'm gonna contrast them again on that. You know, I got 40+ rods in my boat, and the one on the very bottom, the hardest one to get out, could have been the one today. I didn't really know what I was doing. Had a couple bites in practice that clued me in on some bigger fish, and I'm hoping that this is the classic where, you know, obviously I like to adjust and call myself versatile, but I'm hoping that the 2 rods I'm gonna have out tomorrow, and I feel like I learned a lot that today, that it'll be the classic where one day can take the trophy home.
And Clifford.
You know, I've got a few different things going, and we're like I said, we're about to see a weather change, and so it'll be significantly different conditions, I think, the next couple days. So, you know, just be about making good decisions, you know, kind of rolling with the evidence I get, but feel good about it. Got, you know, like I said, got several different options, and you know, looking forward to it.
All right, yes, sir.
Is a 30-pound sack possible anytime during the time?
Anybody that believes a 30-pound sack is possible, raise your hand. That's more than half the.
Yeah, someone's gonna catch a big one, a big, I actually thought that 28, you know, high 20s would be legal today. Just knowing what this place is capable of, I assume that's what it
Okay. And now we have some viewers on Facebook Live out there watching today as well. So
Well,
Sarah,
we're about to.
Oh, okay. So as soon as that pops up, let me know, and we'll get some of those cats going. All right. So next question. Anybody? Yes, sir?
What were the water temperatures?
All right. Easy question. Anybody run into the water temperature while you're out there?
For me, it's low 70s.
Wow. Was it really low 70s?
I saw 76 was the highest I saw.
All right. Any other questions? Yes, Louis?
I was pretty surprised that, our favorite didn't do well. And I mean, we all know he's a good fisherman here. I was curious to see if you guys, if you were equally surprised, and do you think someone farther down in the pack can be on this panel tomorrow?
Anybody want to volunteer to answer that?
I think, it was surprising to see Keith Combs not do so well. I mean, I expected this tournament to kind of set up for him, being the way the winter set up and some fish in all different phases. But I think you'll see, I think we'll see a 25+ pound bag, and it may not come from one of us, it may come from somebody down the leaderboard. I really expect to see that tomorrow.
Anybody else have comment on the potential leaderboard as well?
I think that just goes with the question he asked about 30 pounds. If somebody does it, it's gonna be Keith, and when he does it, he's gonna be up here with us tomorrow.
Yes, all right, so we have a question from the Facebook folks.
Vincent Santroni on Facebook wants to know, Ike, what was your weapon of destruction today?
Yeah, can we go ahead and
Well, you know, my best bait was actually a live cricket on a drop net. Once I got through the bluegill and crappie,
all right, so we're gonna assume we'll not answer that one today. We'll get that for you on Sunday. Any other questions? Yes.
The potential for increased traffic on the lake tomorrow, is anybody worried about the resiliency of their areas and how that may impact your decision?
Yeah, and if we can start down here with Clifford, if you want to. Everybody wants to get on the shot.
Yeah, it's just, probably just a lot like today, just, the problem is it'll be in every direction, you know, it's like a bathtub out there, so, you know, it's just like having wind on every aspect. I think they're kinda used to it, it's really pretty normal here, but it complicates mobility and, you know, techniques you can do a little bit, but, I think they're kinda used to it.
Okay. Anybody have anything to add to that? On boat traffic?
I mean, I think it was spring break last week, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's not, I don't don't see that it's gonna get a lot worse. I think these fish are used to it, so that gives me confidence knowing I got bites, you know, last week during spring break, to think that maybe I can still get bites through the weekend.
All right, another Facebook question.
A couple of people have asked how the weather affected the bite today, and also they wanna know if you feel like you've managed your fish well.
Okay, anybody want to volunteer for that one? The weather, I guess the biggest aspect was wind.
I think the weather today probably hurt a little bit, shut some areas down. Sun comes up tomorrow, Wednesday down, I think a lot of stuff will open up, and that big bag we keep waiting for, I think somebody will get it tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Any thoughts on managing fish concerns?
Pray for the best.
Very cool, all right. Any more, yes, sir?
See anything in the weather that might make you think that fish that you're around are gonna move, and then you feel good, like you know where they might go if they do?
Any thoughts on anticipating what may happen with these fish with the change of weather?
I think the fish have had stable weather for a long time. It's not a typical spring. I think that if it was a normal spring, if something changed drastically, then the fish change. You know, this is a, you know, a movement time of year, but it's been so stable that these fish are pretty settled in. I don't think anything's gonna happen this week while we're here. I think it's gonna be pretty stable.
All right, very good. We're probably gonna do about one more question. I know these guys got a lot of, it's been a long day and they got a lot of work still to do, so if there's one more question, we can get it out. Otherwise, is everybody kosher? Are we good? We got day one in the books? All right, very good. Well, guys, thank you so much. Congratulations.